Welcome back to Champs Rants and Reviews. I'm Mark Dechamp Deschamps, and today we are going to be talking about the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase and how it's looking for Nintendo Switch 2 over the next few months. Honestly, I have to say, as far as Nintendo Directs go, I thought this was kind of weak. Definitely kind of like one of those could have been an email type of things. There were some exciting things, some things that I was excited to see, some kind of cool reveals, but overall, I felt like it was more of a recap of things that we already knew about and less about the actual announcements themselves. Not that we didn't get those, but I didn't think there was anything that was like, really blow off the doors, wow, can't believe this is happening type things. They started things off with that game Orbitals, which I'm not sold on the game yet, but I have to say, I think the art direction is phenomenal. It really looks like an 80s anime show, and I think it's pretty cool looking. I don't know about the gameplay yet. Like, I'm not totally sold. I hope we end up getting a demo for this before the game comes out this summer, because we've seen it a couple times. I thought it was a unique one to start things off with. It didn't feel like a great omen to have something we'd already seen announced, showcased. I do think it was cool that, like, right off the bat, we were seeing a game that uses game share. I think that that's honestly becoming one of the most exciting features for Nintendo Switch 2. And I think a lot of developers feel that way. I think that for, like, multi-console households, the whole idea of being able to play multiplayer games with Switch ones that wouldn't be able to normally play those games is really cool. I think it's like a really forward-thinking move on Nintendo's part. And I think Orbitals, it seems like it's going to use it in a cool way. And then the funny thing is, we had this other game that's using game share in like the craziest way possible. It's so weird. Tokyo Scramble is this new game where it kind of looks like Dino Crisis, which is, to me, that's a great thing. Dino Crisis is a game I really enjoyed on PS1 back in the day. I've been clamoring for a remake of Dino Crisis or some kind of new entry in that series for years now. So like a survival horror game that has dinosaurs in it, that immediately got my interest. I think it looks interesting. It kind of did have like a PlayStation, like an original PlayStation kind of like look to it. I'm really interested to play this, and it comes out very soon. But the thing that was so weird about this game is that the game share feature for it, you still only have one character that's being controlled, but like 4 different people will be able to control like different aspects of the character, which is just like one person will control like the movement, and another will like control the camera, stuff like that. It just seems like a terrible, terrible idea. Maybe it'll be really funny. Maybe with like a group of people, it'll be hilarious, but like, it just seems bizarre. I don't get it. And it seems like that's the general consensus online. I hope this game is good though. It looks cool. It was one of the more exciting, like, new announcements I thought that we got today. So I'm gonna have to keep my eye on that one. Another new announcement we got today was Super Bomberman Collection. Now, full disclosure, I've never been the biggest Bomberman guy. I'm terrible at these games. I'm bad at Bomberman. I don't know what it is. I've tried multiple Bomberman games over the years. And I'm bad at them. I've always been bad at them. So I don't know that a collection of Bomberman games is going to appeal to me. I always like seeing new compilation games announced. I think it's like phenomenal that so many of these developers are like putting these older libraries of games, on new hardware. Like the fact that like Konami has like all the Castlevanias, we have had all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, on a compilation, all the Final Fantasies. Like, I think that that's great. but I don't know if this one's for me. It's cool though. It seems like a lot of people are excited about it. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll finally be won over on Bomberman. I don't think they're finally going to do it. I don't think that this is going to be my thing, but I'm happy for those who are excited about it. So I don't want to say this was a surprise announcement. We got confirmation of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming to Nintendo Switch 2. I think the most surprising thing is that this is coming so soon after Final Fantasy VII Remake. We just got that in January on Switch 2, and now we already have a release date for this summer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is very cool. I know there's going to be a lot of concerns about how this game is going to run on Switch 2. From what I understand, its performance kind of left some things to be desired on PS5. So Square Enix claims up and down there aren't going to be compromises with these Final Fantasy VII remakes on Switch 2. So hopefully they live up to that. Like, the footage today looks good. I don't know how indicative that's going to be of the product, but it looks good. It looks, it looks like the PS5 version. So, that's good. But that was something we knew was going to happen. Square Enix had said the whole trilogy is coming to Switch 2. So, is it exciting that it's soon? Yeah, but again, hard to be excited about something we know is happening, right? And then we got more footage of Pragmata. Another Square Enix, another Capcom game that I'm pretty excited about. Everything I've seen of this game, it's been long delayed. It looks interesting. I don't know what to make of it. What's cool though is that a demo of the game was released today. I'm gonna do a video with impressions of it when I've gotten a chance to sit down with it. So keep an eye on that on the channel. And hopefully it impresses me. I like Capcom in general. They're probably one of my favorite publishers. So this is interesting. The one thing that's really weird to me about Pragmata is in the Switch 2 era, we're already seeing Capcom go all in on Amiibo. We had a bunch of Street Fighter 6 Amiibo, and now we're getting a Pragmata one. But it just, so the Street Fighter 6 ones, in case you haven't been paying attention, they've been mega discounted. They did not sell, which is not a great omen. And now we've got this Pragmata one coming. They're doing Diana, and it seems like a weird choice. I get that Pragmata is clearly going to be a new IP that Capcom is going to push. I just think Diana is a weird choice, a weird robot girl. I feel the main character, this Hugh Williams, would have been a more logical choice. I just don't get it. I don't get why they wouldn't have done that. And I'm worried that if Capcom has, a few of these Amiibo bomb, we're not going to get more. And that would stink. I love Amiibo. I'm a big Amiibo collector. I want to see, publishers embrace doing them. Which is actually why one of my favorite announcements of the Nintendo Direct today was another Capcom one. We got to see more footage of Resident Evil Requiem, which I've talked about on this channel. I'm really excited for that game. I love the series. One of my favorite non-Nintendo franchises. I'm a big Resident Evil guy. We got confirmation today that we're getting a Leon S. Kennedy amiibo, which is so cool. I'm so pumped for this. He's one of the most popular Resident Evil characters. I hope that this sells like gangbusters because I want to see more classic Resident Evil characters made as amiibo. I want a Wesker, I want a Jill Valentine. I want a Nemesis. Please, please, please. If you like amiibo, go buy the Leon one so we get more Resident Evil ones. Hopefully that'll be a big seller, because like I said, I have my reservations about that Pragmata one. I feel like we're going to see that one mega discounted really quickly. And, I hope Capcom doesn't get dissuaded from doing more. So yeah, that Leon one, man, that was one of my favorite announcements today. the Resident Evil footage shown, like that game keeps looking better. But one thing that I thought was really, really funny during the direct, clearly like there's some like ESRB ratings that like Nintendo has to abide by when they do these types of trailers. Because if you watch all the Resident Evil Requiem footage during the direct today, like Leon missed like every shot. So like he'd have like you'd see like through a sniper rifle, and Leon would like miss by a mile. And it wasn't just Resident Evil Requiem that they showed this for. They showed it for other games. And like anytime that there was like, you know, any kind of, you know, footage or anything like that, we saw that that get cut off. So I thought that was really, really funny. It was, you know, it seemed like a look behind the curtain because a lot of people online noticed it. I wasn't the only one. So apparently, you know, now we know that when Nintendo does these directs, they have to be, you know, very, very careful about, you know, showing too much gore, too much violence. We got Turok Origins. I don't know. I've never been the biggest fan of the series. I know it was like a thing in the N64 era. I thought the footage that they showed looked pretty cool. I don't know. That's another one. Another announcement just didn't do a whole lot for me. They closed out the show with some Bethesda information, all kind of things that, not that we knew were coming, but like we kind of had a pretty good inkling we're going to end up on Switch 2. Fallout 4, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And out of all those, what's really interesting is it looks like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is going to be a full physical release. The other ones are going to be like either game key cards or code in a box releases, but Indiana Jones, like Cyberpunk, is going to get a actual physical release. From everything that's been announced today, it looks like that's the case, and that's really cool. This is a game that didn't get like an authentic physical release on either Xbox or PS5. So the fact that it's happening on Switch 2 is like really cool. As somebody that collects physical Switch games, I'm excited about that. It makes me way more likely to buy the game. I played a little bit of it on Game Pass, but it's hard sometimes to dedicate a lot of time to games that I have to sit in front of the TV to play. Whereas when I have Switch 2 and can have it portably, it's a lot easier. So I'm excited about that. That's something that I will probably buy. But yeah, overall, I just, you know, it's hard to be like, I'm not upset that it was kind of a mediocre Nintendo Direct, because going in, the fact that it was a partner showcase, it just felt like we already know a lot of Nintendo's major releases that are coming out over, you know, the next 6 months or so. You know, there's a lot of first party games that have already been confirmed. We have a new Mario Tennis on the way. We have Pokemon Pocopia. You know, we have Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. We know that Yoshi storybook game is coming out sometime in the spring. We have the Switch 2 version of Super Mario Brothers Wonder. So like, it's a pretty stacked lineup first party wise. So it made sense to focus on the third party stuff. And like, you know, there's some cool things. Like, it's just all kind of stuff we knew about. So, you know, ho-hum, whatever. We're going to get a Pokemon Presents at the end of February, in all likelihood on Pokemon Day. And there's a very good chance we're going to see our first look at the next generation of Pokemon games. You know, it's the 30th anniversary this year. Seems very, very, very logical that we're going to get Pokemon Gen 10 before the end of 2026, probably sometime in the fall, likely in that October-November window that the Pokemon Company loves. And we'll probably have some announcements around Mario Day in March. So, you know, kind of a filler Nintendo Direct, but honestly, it's hard to be too upset. I don't know. I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks. Do you agree? Did you think it was kind of ho-hum? Did you enjoy what you saw? Is there something that like really did impress you? Is there something I didn't touch on that you were interested in? Let me know in the comments. If you're a subscriber, you know, thank you so much for subscribing. We like to talk about video games a lot on this channel. I'm a big Nintendo guy. In case it's not obvious, We're going to have a lot to talk about throughout 2026. And if you're not a subscriber already, if you're liking what I'm saying, please think about subscribing. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll have those Pragmata demo impressions over the next few days. So keep an eye out for those. Thanks.